Well, I'm sure Carol from across the pond,
I was just wondering where she was.
Yeah,
Brian, I started the recording, just so you know.
Perfect.
All right. Yes. Well, we will begin. It is 10:30. I know that people will be coming on as we're speaking, and that's just fine. So I'd like to welcome you all to our Sunday morning coffee house. My name is Megan Moore, and we're hosting this call from the Center for Functional Nutrition, and we welcome you all here on this 17th day of January. Brian, I'll hand the coffee house over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Megan, and welcome everyone who's here. And oftentimes in the first 5 minutes is when a majority of the people show up, and that's just fine. So they'll jump in and connect as we get started here. There's Carol. Welcome, Carol. So we're just absolutely so excited today. You know, it's been almost a year that we've been hosting these virtual Sunday connections, and it's really just one of the coolest things that I've ever been a part of, and it's something that is beyond any individual or organization. It's something that we're all building together and growing together, and it's so much fun and so valuable. So just thank you all for being with us and growing this with us together. So today is a really special day for me because our dear friend Carol Montgomery, who's maybe she can just start waving at people. She has introduced me a few years ago to Carolyn and Jana, who will be our featured presenters today. And there they are waving. And I just have to say that in the few years that it's been getting to know them, they are just two of the kindest, knowledgeable, skilled people in the health and wellness space that I have personally ever met. I have gotten to work with Carolyn individually, and I've just gotten to know them as humans over the past couple of years. And these are two individuals who have a huge heart and the ability to cause influence and impact in a very positive way in the world. And they founded together the Holistic Institute of Wellness, which is in Knoxville, Tennessee. And without further ado, I just want to pass over to them the opportunity to share with all of you today. So Jana and Carolyn, please take over.
Brian?
Yes.
Let me, sorry, Carolyn and Jana, let me mute everybody. And that, unfortunately, I'm going to end up muting you, Carolyn and Jana. So just unmute yourself, okay? And give me a couple of seconds.
And one question, Brian, before we do get started, I had sent like the quick presentation to follow. You want to make me host so I can upload that? Are you going to do that? Or how would you like to handle that?
Yeah, I have it. I just didn't, if we put that on the screen, we won't be able to see you guys. So I thought if you want me to bring it up at any point, I have it queued.
Okay.
But I just wanted everyone to see you guys as you're speaking. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I just wanted to ask. Okay.
All right, the floor is yours.
All right.
Hold on, Brian. Okay, sorry for the delay. Carolyn, please unmute yourself and then we are good to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Brian and Megan, for having us both here today.
Thank you.
We're very excited to be here. And what we wanted to chat with you all today about was the importance of, you know, self-care and also energetic health, you know, really treating the whole self because, you know, we both feel just, I mean, self-care is important at all times in our lives, but especially during this time that we're in, you know, the body is taking on a lot of stress. And so it's really, really important that we take really good care of ourselves. So we're going to talk with you all this morning about just how to kind of give you some ideas that will help you all manage just that stress, but also give that attention to yourself on a spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and energetic level. And everything that we're sharing this morning is just our tried and true
Right.
uh,
Well,
techniques and
trial and error almost
yeah,
at times.
yeah, things that have really benefited us through the years and that help us. So, you know, from a spiritual standpoint, it's so important that we feed our soul and, you know, that we really give attention to the spiritual body.
Mhm.
So, you know, looking at things that you can do to actually feed yourself on a spiritual level. And that can be things like meditation. I know for Jana and I, meditation is a big part of our morning practice. It really helps us center
Mhm.
and come into just a state of what we call groundedness, where we're really bringing our energy in and grounding it through the body and anchoring that through our feet
Mhm.
and into the earth.
Mhm.
So, you know, we have like a whole morning practice that we do. And I know a lot of times people, you know, they're always concerned about time and I don't have time to do this. But I always like to say, you know, it's about putting ourselves first
Right.
and you're important. So if you can just carve out even 5-10 minutes to get started, it will just make such a huge difference in your day.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people tend to get, distracted, if you will, thinking they've got to do this whole, you know,
Yeah.
go find your Bodhi tree and sit under it. And that can distract a lot of people. And in this day and age right now, sure, where time can be very crunchy. And so it's true, just 5 minutes, just a few deep breaths, it's amazing how it can recalibrate and recenter ourselves. So, but eventually maybe once a week, get a nice 30-minute relaxation if you can, if not longer, and just take it slowly. It's baby steps. It's like anything. It's just baby steps, getting used to that new way of being. And so another reason we are so passionate about this topic is because we really are multi-layered beings.
Right.
Like Carolyn was just saying earlier, that it's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, etheric. And so when we do get so stressed, it's actually coming in from several different angles. And if we can help bring that to center, bring something to center, it'll actually help the other layers.
Right.
It'll either answer questions. We'll have days like, why am I feeling so anxious?
Yeah.
Let's say we'll use that. And there could be a multitude of reasons. And so I know I always personally do a check-in every morning, and it's each layer, and there's different ways to go about that. But that helps me keep my center and my mental state calm when I can see the different angles that maybe my emotions are coming from, or I'm feeling a little tense that day. Certainly now we are all feeling a very palpable energy in the air, whether we are conscious of it or not, but I can promise you our cellular structure is responding to what is taking place. So it always helps to have somewhat of an idea, and it's your personal journey. So what is it for each and every one of you that helps you truly bring you back to your center? If anything, just for the moment. All you need is a moment, and it'll Doppler out, it'll vibrate out, and it'll take care of everything else with your being, with who you are.
Absolutely, Jana. Yeah. And, you know, there's many different ways to really feed your soul on a spiritual level. And, you know, it can be just simple, you know, taking deep breaths. It can be taking a contemplative walk, reading a good spiritual book. I mean, so there's a lot of different ways that you can really feed your soul on a spiritual level and take care of yourself. And, you know, from a mental standpoint, so we really get inundated with a lot of technology these days. We're constantly bombarded. And if you're aware of your mental energy field that surrounds the body, it is constantly in overwhelm if you don't manage it correctly. So it's really important to manage that through, well, how I like to manage it is through journaling. And anybody that knows me on this call knows that I'm a avid journaler and always recommending it. And I get a lot of pushback and resistance, but when people actually start doing it, I think they can normally feel and see the benefit of it. I mean, we have a tremendous amount of thoughts that come into our airspace a day. I think how much?
12 to 60,000, 12,000 to 60,000 or 2,000 to 60,000
Yeah,
a day? It depends on who you're listening to. Greg Braden is a big popular name in this field. Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Bruce Lipton.
Bruce Lipton, great resources.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, when you think about it, it's almost incomprehensible to think about it, but everything from the littlest things to the big heavy duty stuff that we're all trying to process. And that's a busy place to be.
Yeah.
It's talk about static. It's like air traffic controller. You've got too many planes coming in at once and they cannot discern who's coming from where. It's a little crazy making. So, but it's also a great thing to keep in mind. And I know for me, time to time, I'll do if I'm having a moment, right? And I got 60,000 thoughts going off at once, I'll literally stop for just a moment and take a breath. Just take a breath. And it does, it'll recenter you. And it's a frequency, right? Good thing to remember too, is on what they would say a quantum level, but just we are electromagnetic beings. We are an actual vibration that is walking through this planet. So we are responding and we are reacting. We're responding, reacting, and we're projecting simultaneously. So hence, if someone's feeling really tense, right, we're getting all this information coming in, and at the same time, we're trying to figure out how to disseminate it. So, which makes it a very, very busy moment, both mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah,
because physically we'll feel it inside.
Yeah,
and then the computer's trying to figure out where to put it.
Right.
So
so our mental body, and it's actually a body. So Jana and I kind of talk, multidimensional a little bit, because we have the physical structure, of course, that houses the energy, but then, the energy body is made up of, the chakra system, which are the energy centers. And then we have, numerous other chakras, energy centers that connect in above, below, and then those fields that are each energy center has a field. So, we're projecting this field out, and that's of course commonly known as the auric field. So when you think about the layers, like I said, the mental body gets really full. So it's very important that we tend to that on a self-care level, so that we are kind of emptying the well, so to speak, especially at the end of the day. So a lot of us, are constantly on point, all day long. We're constantly engaged. So at the end of the day, it's very important to take a few moments and just literally, again, take some nice deep breaths, do some journaling, clear your energy. And we're actually going to talk a little bit more about clearing your energy toward the end of the call, because that's a very important part of the energetic health and also the self-care.
Absolutely.
So as we move further into the emotional body, again, that's another level of how you can take care of yourself on an emotional level. And that's truly beginning to get in touch with your feelings. What are you actually feeling underneath? We'll make comments of, that made me so angry, or I feel sad, or I'm feeling anxious, or, and usually there's some sort of underlying emotionality that is going on in the system.
Right.
And that's partly, again, because we are energetic beings, as Jana alluded to. And if we're not careful, what ends up happening to us is that we will actually take on the energy and emotions of the people around us. And we don't even have to be necessarily in their physical presence to do that.
Right.
We can be on the phone with them, we can be on Zoom calls, whatever, and engaging with people because we're very sensitive individuals. You know, we're all highly intuitive, we're all highly empathic. That part of us has kind of been trained out of us over the years, but it's important to realize that we are all extremely energetic, intuitive, empathic beings. And so it's really important to realize that when we engage with other people, that we are, I don't want to say we're, you know, shielding ourselves off from people, but just truly setting more of like an energetic boundary. So that, because if we're having a conversation with someone that's, let's say they're in a great mood and they're feeling good about life, and, you know, they have that ability to influence us, and we can actually rise up that, what I call the frequency scale. So we can rise up that frequency scale and reach that level with them. At the same time, if we engage in a conversation with someone that's going through a lot and is maybe feeling a little downtrodden, if we're not standing firmly in our own emotional state, an energetic state, then what will happen is we'll have this tendency to kind of fall down into that emotional state that they're in. And so the choice becomes, do we stay grounded in our space and we bring people up to meet us, or do we allow people to have the effect on us that draws us down? And also, if the shoe's on the other foot and we're the ones feeling downtrodden and we're in conversation with the other individual, I think it's important for us also to be mindful of our own state and just sharing, like, I'm in this state today, not feeling very grounded, not feeling very happy. I don't want to project that onto you, but I'm needing some support. So we can let that other person we're talking to know where we are, to be able to offer that support.
Right. The energetics, another way that I'll explain it to my clients, is they can be very sticky. They can be, it's almost got a sticky kind of quality, almost like Velcro or fly paper, the old infamous fly paper just came to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But and those are the times, right? We may either walk into a room or someone comes into our environment, and you will have a response one way or the other, or maybe three ways. Either you'll stay neutral, everything's cool, or you will have a reaction, and you'll either be uplifted or all of a sudden you may be brought down a bit, and you may not even be aware of it. Sometimes it is so subtle. You've slipped into a location that you're not even aware you're at. Both sides. It can be both sides, but it can be very innocuous. It can be very surprising how we may not feel well, both physically and emotionally, maybe all of a sudden, after being in either a location. It doesn't even have to be a person. It's an imprint. Remember, there's always an imprint left over, either when people have gathered in rooms or we are with a person. You're either with them in a room. It doesn't even matter how close or far you are from them. Right. That's that projection that I was talking about earlier. We're always projecting out at one point or another, which is why, for those of us that are aware of it, it's actually it's a nice thing to do, to just gently let people know, hey, I'm kind of in a bummer place at the moment, maybe just a low feeling. Please know it's not you.
Right. Please
know I'm not here to bring you down. And this is a lot of the education that we need to get out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of us literally don't know how to disseminate what's ours, what's not. It can be very old, what we would say, programming. So part of our job and part of our passion is to educate people on the energetic system.
Yeah.
Why it is, where it is. And this is an old system. This goes back to Hinduism. This is not new stuff. So, but it is going to be very new to a lot of people.
Yeah. As
it's been going on. And so I know that's part of our passion, is to get the information out and just to put it in a way that people can understand it.
Yes.
Because it's a very different train of thought. It can be for some people. It can be a super duper brand new train of thought. And if, especially for people that, like, I was programmed to use my brain. I am very medically oriented. It's my background. So I was brought up to utilize my brain in a different way and not get emotionally involved in things. But my internal essence is I'm actually a very emotional being, and it's part of my gift. And so I certainly, long ago, when I had my awakening, I had to figure out how to discern all that and how to use it, utilize both.
Yeah. So it's really important to stay in touch with our emotions and our feelings as we go through this, because ultimately things begin to manifest in the physical body.
Right.
And a lot of, everything that occurs with us physically has an energetic and emotional component to it. So what occurs in the body is, yes, it's a manifestation of some sort of energetic or emotional imbalance. And, I've been studying, I've been studying the energy body for a good 15 years now. And I still feel like there's so much I don't know, but it's amazing. Once you become very aware of your energy body, then you can help your physical body heal or remain in homeostasis. And, wonderful ways that you can take care of your physical vessel. Because when you think about it, the physical vessel is what houses our beautiful energy. And so, it's true. We need to treat the body like a temple, because it's very important to have this. I mean, we've got this pristine energy body. And if we don't have our physical vessel to a level where we can house the pristineness of the energy, that's where some of the imbalances come in. So, from a physical self-care standpoint, doing things like, taking a nice walk, working out.
Right.
I know you are very passionate about working out and have your
am.
band routines and, ellipticals and all that. It doesn't have to be that extreme, but that's also very good.
To stay in movement.
Yes.
Whatever you do, stay in movement. Remember, the energy needs a channel. It needs a channel to move through. And if it gets stuck in our physical body, that begins a whole cascade of things. So whether it's just simple stretching, but keep your body moving, right? When I was a fitness trainer very early on, long ago. And I was a competitive athlete. So I've always been in that world, and I learned how to utilize my body. And the older I got, it shifted. I was learning how to use my body to work with the stress that was coming through, the mental stress, the emotional stress. And so it's interesting how it shifts through the years of how to use your body. And in the big fitness world, they'll say keep moving and stretching, because our ligaments and tendons are like rubber bands.
Yeah.
So if we don't use them, they get dry and they're not pliable. But again, because of the intensity, if you will, of what's happening right now, remember it's going to come through. It's going to come through, and you're going to try to contain that. There's a part of you, it's just a natural primitive reaction. And so utilize some type of movement to be able to channel it. Let it come in, but then let it get right back out. Let it get right back out. It's interesting, as you were sitting there talking. I'm from California, so I'm from earthquake country. And there always came a point that the buildings got better and better regarding earthquake. They had to figure out how to make sure the buildings weren't going to collapse and break. Especially the stronger the quakes got. So, right, they got these earthquake sensors, and the buildings began to sway as the earth started to shake. So there wasn't so much damage. And that's all we're trying to share with people, is how to figure out a way to just sway with the emotions that are coming up, sway with the mental processes that are coming through, especially if they're not yours. Right? There's a lot of intensity at the moment, and people are going to be responding and reacting. don't take it on. If it's not yours, just go with it, right?
And
Let
I
it
like
come
to
out.
think about the willow tree,
Yeah, yeah.
because the willow tree is so strong and its roots are like really dug down into the earth because it's drawing forth. It goes in search of water sources. So it's very strong, but then it can just literally
Right.
sway back and forth. It's so beautiful.
Right.
So I think of it in that way too.
I love that.
And so I think about that from a physical standpoint to
Yes.
be really strong, but then also be malleable and flexible,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then from an energetic perspective, again, just educating yourselves more and more about the energy body. And there's some wonderful people out there like Cindy Dale and some others that have written some really good information. At the Holistic Institute of Wellness, our website, actually, if anybody wants to subscribe to our newsletter, we have put together a beginner's guide to chakras and energy fields. And several people on this call from our tribe really, they were kind of our guinea pigs. And we asked them to say, hey, does this make sense to you? Oh, there's Janet.
there's
She's
Janet.
got it.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of blending in and out of the sheet.
Cool.
But,
She's invisible. That's cool.
but yeah, so they really gave us some great feedback and felt like it was a good way to introduce. And that's a free ebook. So if anybody wants to go to our website and subscribe to our newsletter, you get that as a complimentary gift. And it also allows you just to keep up with us, but it really has some good information. Oh, there's Cindy. She's got hers too.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's just a great little booklet, very informative. So, but two things I wanted to share real quickly, because I know we're coming up on the 11th hour here, but there's a couple of quick techniques energetically that you can do to protect yourself and to also clear your energy.
Mhm.
And one of the most, and these are like two simple techniques I have been doing for years. I was actually doing this before I knew what I was doing, but I've kind of tweaked those a little through the years. But one of the things that you can do is simply, you can rub your hands together. And what that does, it activates your palm chakras. It activates your chi, because we all have a chi. We all have an energy. So when you rub your hands together and it activates your palm chakras, then you really get the energy flowing. And if you will, for just a moment, just kind of close your eyes for a minute and just pull your hands apart just a little bit and see if you can feel the energy maybe beaming between your palms. And if you can't, don't worry about that. It's okay. Just keep maybe practicing that though, because eventually it'll start to activate and you can actually feel a little, Jana and I call this the energy ball, but you can actually begin to start feeling energy pulse between your hands. So once you get that pulsing, and even if you don't, like I said, just trust that it's happening, then what I want you to do, and you can open your eyes back up now, but what I want you to do is literally just take your hands, and I want you just to pull them over your head, and almost like you're brushing down your energy body. And you're going to come down. I usually stand up when I do this, but you can literally come down the center of the body all the way down to the feet. You can brush off your arms. You can reach around your shoulders. You can come down your back, down the legs. And what that is doing, we alluded to the energy fields earlier. What that is doing is allowing you to clear what Jana recalled earlier, just kind of the energetic clutter, the stickiness, the Velcro-y substances, because everything's plasma. Our thoughts, our emotions, our energies, they're plasma, so they get stuck in our fields. So we can clear that. And it takes some nice deep breaths when you do that, and it will literally help you feel refreshed. And then the other thing you can do, I like to do this before I actually am in client session with people, or if I'm going to have a lot of interaction with people on the phone, Zoom, whatever, I like to zip up my energy. So what that means is, like, you can just literally envision, like, like you've got this invisible zipper and you can reach down at your feet like you're pulling up earth energy, and you can literally just bring it all the way up and lock it at the top, and imagine yourself just surrounded in this beautiful bubble of light. And what that allows you to do, it sets like an energetic boundary between you and the world. It's not that you're not sharing or that you're not being compassionate or that your energy isn't flowing out. What is happening is that you're not taking on so much the energies of others. And so that energy that might be coming towards you then kind of bounces off of you.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're with someone, whether it's physical or just virtual like this, you're in people's energy fields.
It comes through.
It just comes through. And so you're constantly processing.
Right. Right. It doesn't matter if you're in their presence or not. Energy is energy. There's no boundaries.
Yeah.
So it'll come through emails, texts, Zoom, phone calls,
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
So I know we're right at 11, and Brian, I'm going to just turn it back over to you for a minute and see, you know, if there's any questions or comments or anything you want to add or.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Carolyn and Jana, thank you so much. That was just a very powerful, you know, explanation of how real energy is, and then some just exceptional tools that we can all use every single day. And what I personally really got was that the more each of us can pay attention to ourselves, as in our physical, mental, spiritual, energetic, everything that you have covered here, that's how we can start to bring in that stability to go out into the world and to be the willow tree, to, you know, handle technology and people and energy. And so that was just a really clear and powerful message for me to say, hey, continue doing those things that you're learning from people like Carolyn and Jana and Wes and Catherine Taylor and all the great people, Cornelia, who are on this call, and of course, Russell. So really just pay attention to those things and, you know, find the things that really are your calling, right? So we can't all do, you know, every great thought leader or doctor or practitioner, we can't do all of them, but we might as well educate ourselves and continuously try things to find our home and our center. And that's just what I really appreciate from you two today, is to just have invited us to do that and to have given us some really great tools. So just thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Our pleasure.
And please, oh, sorry, go ahead, Carolyn.
No, I was just going to say, if we do have a few minutes, and of course, anyone, I want to be sensitive to everybody's time. If anyone needs to go, absolutely. But one of the things I would love to do, we would love to do at the end, Brian, before we close out, is just a quick centering. And I'd also love to draw one of our energy cards that was gifted to us from Miss Cindy Tysinger. These cards are so beautiful, and they're all energy related as far as the energy centers and the chakras. So I thought that might be something fun to close out with today.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to open it up for questions and comments. And as Carolyn said, if you have to go, please, you know, thank you for being here, and have a beautiful, blessed day. But just start waving at me, and I'll call on you for any questions or comments. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there we go. Megan, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have one really, and the phrase that came to my mind, and one of you might have said it in the beginning, is this phrase of everyday living, and how in our everyday living we can make use of the tools that you just gave to us. But what was really important to me was to hear, I can center myself when I'm sitting at the computer. I can do it when I'm out for a walk. I can do it when I'm in the middle of a extremely emotional time. I mean, it's that sense that we can do it, or I can do it, and I can bring this into my life. And in that sense, I will be much more, I suppose I'll be just more effective in my everyday life. So thank you for that, for those reminders.
Thank you, Megan.
Yes, thank you, Megan. It really is simple. It doesn't have to be very difficult. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, like Janice said, you don't have to find the Bodhi tree and spend hours, you know. I mean, if you have that time, that's wonderful. But our message is just, like we said, start with 5-10 minutes wherever you are, you know, do it in the morning, midday, evening, all day, you know, however it works for you. That's the most important part.
Yeah, Carol Montgomery, go for it.
She mentioned, I think Carolyn mentioned earlier how we will fight this. She knows what I'm about to say. So when she, in our group in Knoxville, when she was talking about with gratitude journaling, I cried because I simply didn't know how I could find another moment in my day. And I do it every day now. And it's so, that's very grounding. I need grounding. I flutter about with all this stuff. So it's worth it. It's so worth doing.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. Yeah, Russell, go ahead.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks, Carol. What I wanted to say as a thank you to Jana and Carolyn is to mention the word grounding. I can literally trace the very first article I ever read, or the first lecture I ever heard about natural healing, and it talked about grounding. And I just wanted to share that we are energetic beings. Energy is the be all and end all. Energy is the source and the end and everything. And for energy to be helpful, for energy to be useful, it has to be grounded.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
So true, Russell. Yes. So true.
Thank you, Russell.
Yeah, thank you very much. Catherine Taylor, yes, please.
Well, I just really appreciate the reminder of the balance and how we can just show up and do whatever we can do, because so many of us get into this perfectionistic mode that if I can't do 3 hours, then I won't do 3 minutes. And then, you know, we just don't do anything.
Right.
And so I think we always have to be reminded of that. So I really appreciate it. Throughout your, you know, share and your presentation, you kept coming back to that acceptance of do what we can do, and then it will build.
Yes.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Deborah Saunders.
I'm going to go back to what Megan said about everyday living. I use the zip up and the brush off technique every single day. I'm a realtor, so I go into other people's houses. I zip up before I go into their space. I brush off, and I have a selenite wand in the car that I help brush off. And now it's become such an automatic thing. I do it before grocery stores. I do it before any place where I'm entering into somebody else's energy.
Yes.
And that makes things so much less cluttered. Less cluttered. So that I appreciate you highlighting that, Megan, that yes, it's about everyday living and surviving the onslaught every day.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely,
Thanks,
Deborah.
Deborah. Wow.
Thank you for echoing that.
Yeah.
I love that. Real everyday experiences. Awesome. Anybody else?
Yes, what's the wand?
Oh, yeah,
What's the
sorry,
wand?
Cindy, go ahead. Oh, sorry, wait 1 second, Cindy. There was a question from Kim.
Hi, yes, I'm just joining you for the first time, and I was wondering, what is the
Welcome,
wand
Kim.
that she was, hi, thank you. What is the wand that she was talking about just a minute ago?
Deborah, yep. You just muted yourself, Deborah.
Sorry, my bad. There you go. It's a selenite wand. You can buy it at any good rock shop, and it's a very soft rock, and it's about this big. And I just keep it in the car, and it just helps take the energy away from me, and then I try and put it out most full moons and just have it recharge. I don't need to, but I like to do that. So
Deborah, would you mind just putting in the chat the spelling of that, just so people
Sure.
can write it down? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, that would be
my
great.
accent doesn't help, right?
Because I'm just trying to guess at this point. Cindy.
Selenite, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Brian, I'm sorry, Cindy.
No,
I just
go ahead.
Go ahead.
share quickly with Kim that the selenite, it's a white, kind of a milky white. Oh, Janet has one that she's holding. And so it's one of the highest vibrational stones on the planet. There's actual selenite caves, and it's amazing the frequency that these carry. They're so high in frequency. Every stone on the planet has a vibration to it, but this one doesn't need like any type of necessary clearing or recharging because of its purity. And it is a beautiful thing to use for the energy field. Thank you for mentioning that.
Because its job is to clear.
Yeah,
That's its
job.
Yeah, this is all new to me. So.
Oh, well, world. Yeah, this is a fun one.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you very much.
And yes, Kim, I'm sure if, if you have any further questions, you can reach out to Holistic Institute of Wellness, whoever's connecting you to this call, they'll help out, I'm sure. Everyone's got their wands. I love it. Cindy, sorry, go ahead, Cindy.
No worries. I wish I had a wand. Carolyn and Jana, I need to get one. I just wanted to just echo and appreciate Carolyn and Jana for, I've known you about close to 3 years, but you've changed my life so significantly as a result of, I'm a very heart-centered, empathetic person, and I take on others' energy, and I know that. And to protect my own, the exercises you've talked to everybody about today has significantly helped me, because negativity and that downtrodden is just exhausting. So I am so appreciative of the energetic exercises and the zip up that Deborah even talked about. It really protects you in difficult times as are going on in our world right now, because it's important. We need to be, in light and positive and bringing love and care and kindness to the world. So thank you. I've really enjoyed all the teachings that you've taught me.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy.
We love you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Yeah, absolutely. That's such an important point. I did see Janet. I remember you waving. Did you want to talk about the wand, or did you have another comment?
Actually, I have both. So I keep this. Sorry about that. This background is good, except when you want to show people things. So I keep this. I actually, this is on a hook. I actually keep this over my desk as a clearing for me. When I'm talking to clients, again, is it an email? Is it Zoom? I'm trying to follow the teachings that Carolyn and Jana have given me to keep myself centered so that I can be of better service to others in whatever way that form that takes in my work. And it's very easy for me to get sucked into, well, what did they mean? And I didn't understand that email, and what's the background? I don't know. I'm just going to try and find my center and respond appropriately. And the brushing off and the zipping up and the morning journaling have changed my life. And I will say I'm with Carol all the way. When I first started with this, it's like, if anybody gives me one more thing to do, yeah, yeah, Carolyn's laughing at me, but it's changed my life. So it's worth it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Janet. I think you just really hit it home with, just looking at this as something exceptionally selfless, to work on ourselves and to be more in tune with ourselves so that we can just be better out in the world, so that we can, listen to people better, so that we can have a more open heart for people. I love that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Carol, waving at me.
Very,
Go
very
for it.
quickly. I've got a selenite lump. Is a wand better than a lump?
Not necessarily. Nope.
Yeah.
Whatever feels right, right? Whatever you resonate to, by all means. It's a lot. It's said a lot. The crystal will find you. You will know. They both have the same properties and the same qualities of strength, cleansing. It does not matter.
Yes, and I just want to
Beautiful.
make a note that Darlene put in the chat. It is a crystal. It is very soft. It is not something that needs to be wet. So if there is any debris, she made the suggestion just to take a cloth and kind of dust it off. It is one of, it's very porous, so you definitely don't want to get this one wet.
Right.
Some of the harder crystals, I won't get into all that. We'll be here another few hours. But some of the other harder crystals you can actually set outside, you can run them underwater, whatever. But this one you definitely don't want to get wet. So thank you, Darlene, for making that point.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for just being so engaged and creating a community collaborative event together with us today. And with that being said, Carolyn and Jana, please take us home. I know you have something to give everyone here before we leave.
Yes. So I'm going to have everyone just close their eyes. And what I'd like you to do, if you can, is just sit back, relax. If you're in a chair, just kind of put your feet on the ground. If not, no worries. And if you can, just place your hands palms up. And if that's not comfortable, again, no worries. But I want you to take a nice, comfortable, deep breath. And just really center into your inner. And just be really mindful of the breath. Just inhaling and exhaling. And then if you can, I want you to visualize a beautiful white light at the top of your head. And that white light is just flowing down through you and all around you. And as it does, it's clearing, cleansing, and releasing any and all energies that no longer serve you. And it's flowing down through every energy center, starting at the top of your head with the crown chakra, moving into the brow at your third eye, flowing into your throat chakra, down into the center of your chest as it moves out into your shoulders, down your arms, palms of your hands and your fingertips. It flows further down into your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. It flows out into both of your hips, down your legs, knees, ankles, and feet. And as it comes out the feet, it forms together back into a single column of light. And it anchors down into the Earth Star chakra below your feet, anchoring you beautifully into the earth, grounding your energy. And then bringing your attention back to the center of your chest, your heart chakra. You may place your hands upon your heart chakra if you wish, or leave your palms open. But taking a moment in this centeredness to reflect on one thing that you are grateful for. And then allowing that gratitude to fill up your entire being with love and light. And also in this space, setting a positive intention for yourself as you move throughout the rest of your day. Setting the intention for your week, that whatever you encounter on any level, that you stay centered, grounded, and in a place of trust and faith. And collectively, we hold space for our planet and all of humanity right now and everything that we are experiencing. And we set the intention as a collective group to get today that all things happen to the highest and greatest good for all of us. Thank you. And now asking Jana to take a moment and just pick us an energy card that we can take through the rest of our day and month ahead with. So be it.
So be it.
And so it is.
So it is. So keeping your eyes closed if you'd like to, staying in this place. The card that we all pulled, it was a collective card. It was all of our consciousnesses that pulled this card. The beauty is it is from the Earth Star Chakra.
Oh.
Which is where we just grounded into. And it's called Rebirth. It's a beautiful card. So here is what it says. You have pulled this card as a sign that you are currently undergoing a rebirth. It is a powerful awakening and a healing process that comes in many different forms and is a big part of your life's journey. Everything has divine timing. Nothing lasts forever. Things have a beginning and an end, a divine knowing when it's time to move, create, and time to be still. Something in your life is ending and something very positive is awakening within you. It is time to let go of anything that is not supporting you or serving you at this point, as you open and receive new energies that are being offered. Moving beyond your comfort zone and into a new sphere of opportunity can be uncomfortable, challenging, or even painful. But remember, you are guided and supported by the light of your soul and the universe, which brings positive change and experiences. You have planted seeds of new opportunity and have been nurturing them. And now it's time for them to sprout, grow, and flower into existence. Be kind and gentle during this process and be sure to water the seeds with your love and graciousness. You have been waiting patiently for this time of change and new beginnings to arrive, so bathe in its glory. Start something new or embark on a project you've been pondering over. There may be also some new inspiration coming through for you at this time. Take a moment to connect with your inner voice and listen to what your soul is sharing with you. You could also be birthing a new aspect of yourself. Whatever the process is for you right now, be sure to embrace this opportunity and enjoy the new energy that is available to you. The affirmation that goes with this card: I am completely supported in my current rebirth, and I am open to the magic of the universe birthing within me.
Wow.
That was a really beautiful message.
Good pull,
Well
everyone.
done, everybody.
Yeah, and here's the card.
That was a beautiful, beautiful message.
It is beautiful. It
I've
has
never seen this one.
has a butterfly in the center of kind of an etheric being. It's just an absolutely beautiful card.
And
So,
the time, of course, the timing.
the
is
timing
perfect,
is
always
absolutely
is,
perfect.
especially with externally what we're all witnessing.
Yeah.
And experiencing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well,
Well
Carolyn
done.
and Jana, that was extraordinary. It's a moment I won't forget, I'm sure, my whole life, I'm going to write it down so I definitely don't forget it. And I just feel so fortunate to have been in this space with the two of you and with everybody on this call. This was something that as I was holding all of you in my thoughts and vision, you know, I know people on this call, when they listen to Jana say that, I know it was a big deal for you. So let's go out into the world together and just share these messages and this education and these tools with as many people as we can and practice them ourselves. So thank you, everybody. Let's all unmute and big virtual hug. And thank you so much for being here with all of us.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. It was a
Wonderful
pleasure.
week,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn and Jana. Thank you, everyone.
It was a pleasure.
Have a wonderful day, everyone, and a
Yes.
wonderful
You
week.
too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.